It's great to be in Stevens Point, great to be at the University of Wisconsin Stevens Point. We had a listening session, our first post-budget submission listening session, and I thought it was a great success. We had a really good turnout, we had really good input, we had lots of legislators and other electeds here to not only participate but to listen, just like Lieutenant Governor and I have been doing. And this listening session is a follow-up to our budget. We did listening sessions that created a people's budget, and we used those ideas. Now we're going to take this information to use and think about how we can advocate for the budget that we've prepared. I love the opportunity to be here because people were not only saying this is what I think, but they're also challenging each other. They're also agreeing with each other. It was democracy in action, and I loved every minute of it. And Lieutenant Governor and I would be willing to answer any questions you might have.
Governor, several Republicans today, including John Nygren, who sits on that committee, called your budget irresponsible. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, have him come up here and he talk to these 150 people that we're just with. That's what I would suggest. It's easy to sit back and in your chair behind a big desk with people, with grilling people, and say this is irresponsible. That budget that we created came from the people of Wisconsin when we did the listening sessions. It continues to be validated by people. I understand that there's always going to be differences. I also understand that you need to huff and puff every once in a while to prove your political bona fides. But at the end of the day, we as legislators and policymakers in the state of Wisconsin have to come to an agreement. And that's what we're going to do.
Any thoughts on the election last night and the potential for a recount?
Well, none other than it was obviously a very close election, and we're looking forward to making sure that every vote counted and every vote is counted. We want to make sure the people that voted in this election have been heard, and we'll wait the results of that.
Do you think there should be a recount? Is it?
Well, that's up to the candidates, not to me, but. We're looking forward to a conclusion at some point in the future.
This was your first, post-budget listening session, and you're in the North Central Wisconsin community first stop. What do you think that means to the community, and was there any specific reason why you chose this area first?
Well, certainly we chose this area for several reasons. One is that it has a great four-year campus and also has a great tech college system in both the northern part of the viewing area and southern. So it has good education background, but also it's kind of the issues that are central Wisconsin are issues that are really important to me. Transportation, having a good education system, healthcare, criminal justice. It was great to see the groups dividing up and talking about those issues. So I think it's reflective of the people here, and we wanted to make sure we started at a good place.
And you listened to all the different topics. Was there maybe one issue that particularly spoke out to you that people were interested in talking to you with?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Education is one, and that's my wheelhouse. But I did find the conversation around natural resources and the environment, especially illuminating, and there were a lot of people there too. It's always refreshing for me as someone that has a science background that people actually value science and understand how science can be used to help us preserve our environment, save our water, making sure that we have good, clean drinking water. But also in that group, again, it was about building upon each other's thoughts, and as it was kind of a crescendo towards the end, I thought it was super.
What do you hope to get out of the listening sessions as you and the Lieutenant Governor go around the state?
Well, at the end of the day, we're going to need to come to common ground and find solutions for the people of Wisconsin, and the priorities and information that we use tonight. Not only will we use to advocate for our budget, but at the end of the day, we need to find common ground, and what they're telling us are really important to making sure that we get to the right place.
In going around to the different groups, obviously they're talking about different topics, but were there any common threads you noticed when people were talking about the budget that was released?
Heck yes, and I'll tell you, it was all about the different groups. They were connecting the dots by themselves. Whether it's education, whether it's healthcare, all those, and transportation. All those issues are important to quality of life here in Wisconsin. And if we want to address those really thorny issues individually, we're going to have to deal with them collectively. they were saying it in every single group, they were connecting the dots, and I think that's just an important thing for all of us, and not just policymakers, but people in Wisconsin, to think about issues, more holistically, that these things are connected. If you want to have a good education system, we have to have affordable housing. We have to make sure that we have a good criminal justice system. And I think having that conversation is really important for us to grow as a state.
What do you hope to get out of the sessions you talked about how important it is to find out what the people of the state want, but
Yeah.
what do you hope to?
Well, the bottom line is, too, we want to make sure that our legislators understand how important these issues are to the people of the state. And it's not just selecting certain people to come in and tell us what we think. This was open to the public. Anybody could have showed up here. And so I think we're getting a good demographics that show exactly what the people of Wisconsin feel, and I'm hoping that they will be energized around this budget and advocate for it just as hard as we do, but also to think about how all these things are connected, and I believe we'll have a better budget as a result of that.
We've got time for one more.
What are the next steps for the budget? So you're going to do these listening sessions.
Right.
What do you hope to come? What do you hope comes from them besides the support as the process moves on?
Well, hopefully, as I said before, we want an active group of citizens that care about these issues, interacting with their legislators. This is good for democracy. So, the big picture, we're thinking about the democratic values that the state has always engaged in and felt strongly about. But at the end of the day, we also have to be able to prioritize, and I think these listening sessions will help us do that. Focus on the things that are important to people, understand how they're all connected. So, thank you.